Good morning, folks. This is Mr. Dan coming to you from the Landscape Design Classroom, and today we're going to talk about fertilizing soil to feed garden plants. So how can I decide on the right amount of mineral fertilizer to apply to my home garden? Essential plant nutrients. We have 3 available from air and water, which are carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and 12 from soil, which are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, boron, copper, manganese, molybdenum, iron, sulfur, and zinc. These are absorbed through root hairs or absorbed by leaves in foliar feeding. So our key 3 nutrients, we have nitrogen, which stimulates vegetable growth or vegetative growth, phosphorus, which is important for fruits and seeds, and potassium, which is general plant vigor and sturdy roots. So our trace elements are boron, calcium, copper, iron, magnesium, manganese, molybdenum, sulfur, and zinc, required in very small amounts and often included in garden fertilizers. So always make sure you're reading the label to make sure you have some really beneficial things in your fertilizers whenever you purchase them from the store. Our fertilizer label includes 3 numbers representing the percentages of nitrogen, potassium, and potassium. Example here would be 12% nitrogen, 5% phosphorus, and 7% potassium. And there will also be some inert materials in there, but always make sure you're using the correct one. Typically, most starters are going to have a higher nitrogen and then lower numbers in the other 2, but it all depends on the situation you're trying to work with. So also list trace elements. Well, let's move into soil testing. So the most accurate way to know which nutrients and how much fertilizer should be added. Testing for pH level, which is acidic or alkaline, and available through extension services or down here in our classroom because we do a lot of soil testing down here. The procedure for collecting a soil sample, a V-shaped hole about 6 to 7 inches deep, a thin slice from top or bottom. Soil from several samples mixed together. You want to do it from different areas in the yard so you get a more correct sample, and you'll know exactly how much fertilizer to put out on your yard or on your vegetables. So soil spread out to dry, packed for shipping. Then moving into pH levels, we have levels 0 at 14, below 7 acid, 7 is neutral, and above 7 is going to be alkaline. And ideal for vegetables between 6 and 7. So adjusting pH, if it's too acid, you need lime added. Fall is the best time to test and apply. If it's too alkaline, you want to use some agricultural sulfur. And like I said, there's nothing more important you can do whenever you're trying to do your pH than just doing a soil test to see where that needs to be. Applying fertilizers, first application in spring when plowing or spading, 2/3 before spading, and 1/3 raked in before planting. So if you're just doing a regular yard, you can do a normal broadcast right over top with a granular fertilizer, but you definitely have a couple more steps whenever you're going into a garden. Side dressing during the growing season, and then liquid feeding directly to plants. So there's a lot of different methods you could use here. Typically injections right into the root system of the plant will be most beneficial once you get that first application down. Our bottom line here, plants require sufficient amounts of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and small amounts of other trace elements. A soil test will indicate which nutrients are needed and how much fertilizer to apply. And the soil test also provides the pH level of your soil. So this one was short and sweet, but if you have any questions, give me a call down here in the Landscape Design Classroom. And I appreciate your time, folks. Have a great day.